Good morning, team, or afternoon. You might be watching this in the afternoon. I wanted to go over the job team meeting assignments for next week. Um, and so let's just pop over to the ninth and the 11th grade. They are going to be doing the same thing that our 10th and 12th graders were doing this week. So I won't go in depth here. Um, I since I've been out, I've got this sweet little meme here. Feel free to change it up. Um, if this probably doesn't apply to you, but I know I've got a little bit of time of just, doing some catch up with the students, more one-on-one. So the ninth and 11th grade, they're going to be working on their job application simulation. Everything here is the same. I just called out in pink Sam's links because I figured you guys would probably want to update those with your links. Um, oh, and there is one additional update. I put some reminders in here because this is the progress report week and all student work is due by 2/11. And I just want to have us remind the students one last time, hey, we're not checking late work unless you send us an email and let us know that you did the thing. Um, all right, so that's the ninth and the 11th. Um, they'll be working on their numbered bulleted lists, and Excel will be doing their quiz, and On Base will have their virtual meeting. All right, so for our 10th and 12th graders, what we are going to do is we're going to talk about the cover letter. So what's going to happen is I've got a two-part situation for the cover letter. This first part is pretty basic, and it just goes over the major parts of a cover letter. Some of our groups will be doing the second part, and we'll talk about that later, but I just wanted you to know why this was a pretty just basic overview. It's very purposeful. So we'll just start off, activating prior knowledge with the students. What do you know about cover letters? Um, Listen to their answers, and then, and I've been trying to be a little bit more mindful of the amount of time that these lessons take. So I'm trying to really time things out at the bottom here in the notes. If you can let me know how this is working out for you, if I'm getting the times about right, that would be really helpful for planning in the future. So we're just going to spend a couple of slides here talking about what a cover letter is and just have the students read out loud to engage them, and then also fill in any blanks if you have anything that you want to add in. So those first three slides touch on that. And then our next four slides are going to talk about the parts of a cover letter, because cover letters are really formulaic type of a letter that students or that anyone has to write. So we've got our introduction, our sales pitch, and then our conclusion. And so after we read through all of that and just sort of discuss it, answer questions for students, I have this thing called a cover letter practice document. And what essentially we're going to do is we're going to talk about part one, and I'll show that to you in a second. And then they're going to do a Google form here that will just ask them basic questions about a cover letter. So let me show you what this looks like. The sample cover letter, when I open it up into the next tab, of course. It's taking a minute to load. Okay, so like I said, this has three different parts to it. You've got part one, which is a cover letter example. This is a fully written one. Part two is a template that they can just use in the future. I want to give them this as a resource for when they need it. And then part three is a checklist. This is helpful for them in the future. I'm looking at this as like, hey, you've got to write a cover letter. Make sure you do all these things to your future self. It's a little letter to your future self. So what this activity asks them to do, there's three different sections here. There's a pink, orange, and a blue section to this cover letter. And what I'm hoping, ideally, if we have enough time, is that we read through this as a group. We read the purple section together, or the pink. This is supposed to be pink. Um, Anyhow, we read this together, and then together we talk about what is one thing that was done well and one thing that needs updated. I actually put the answers to that here in the notes for the pink and the orange. And so what you would do is you would read the pink, go over the grow, the thing that needs to be fixed, and the glow, and then do the same thing with the orange. And then the students will work on the blue independently in the Google form.